Week 34. Day 232, on going all in. I demolish the bridges behind me. Then there is no choice but to move forward. Fridtjof Nansen. If working on your goals with a safety net makes you lazy and less likely to reach your goals, try the opposite approach, demolish the bridges behind you and go all in. You will either succeed or lose in a big way. Obviously, before making such an extreme decision, take into account all of the risks. If you're the sole breadwinner of your family, quitting your job to work on a business might not be an entirely good idea. However, in many cases you do have an option to cut all escape routes. For example, if you want to start a diet, you can throw away all of the unhealthy food you have in your house, pay in advance for 3 months of a healthy meal delivered to your doorstep, announce to all of your friends and family that you're on a diet, and give your friend a substantial amount of money that he or she can spend as they like if you fall off the wagon. If the only choices you have are a spectacular success or a spectacular failure, it often makes it easier to stick to your resolutions because the consequences of success and failure are balanced. If you have a safety net and failure isn't particularly hurtful, in a moment of doubt the temptation to back out can be too alluring to resist it. Day 233, on obstacles as filters. The brick walls are there for a reason. The brick walls are not there to keep us out. The brick walls are there to give us a chance to show how badly we want something. Because the brick walls are there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough. They're there to stop the other people. Randy Pausch. If obstacles piss you off, ask yourself how would you enjoy reaching your goals if there were no difficulties and everyone would have been able to achieve their goals without breaking a sweat. How valuable would that success be? How sweet would it feel if you knew that you'd accomplished something that everyone else easily could? Think of setbacks as filters. Each problem reduces the number of people eligible to attain the ultimate prize. Are you going to be one of the also-rans or are you going to prove how badly you want your goal and stick to your resolutions for however long it takes? Day 234, on forgiving. To err is human, to forgive, divine. Alexander Pope. What is a quote about forgiving doing in a book about self-discipline and success? The answer is simple: holding a grudge is like instant gratification. It gives you a little reward today at the expense of your future. Meanwhile, forgiving requires some sacrifice today, but eventually brings bigger benefits. This means that the act of forgiving can serve as a valuable exercise in improving your self-control, particularly emotional control. Engaging in negative emotions by staying angry at somebody who hurt you can give you some pleasure by satisfying your need for fairness in the world. Expressing your dislike or anger is like punishing the one who erred. However, in the long run, holding a grudge poisons only one person, and that person is you. Choosing to forgive, which doesn't necessarily mean to forget, is therefore an act of freeing yourself from pain. Instead of being stuck in a negative emotional loop, you choose the temporary discomfort of making peace in exchange for the substantial long-term benefits of improved well-being. Day 235, on looking only one day ahead. When I face the desolate impossibility of writing 500 pages, a sick sense of failure falls on me, and I know I can never do it. Then gradually, I write one page and then another. One day's work is all I can permit myself to contemplate. John Steinbeck. I share John Steinbeck's sentiment every time that I start writing a new book, particularly if it's such a big and difficult project as 365 Days with Self-Discipline. The most effective strategy I've found to help me is precisely the same recommendation as Steinbeck's: I contemplate only one day's work. Today, I need to write 10 more daily entries, and that's all that counts. Each time I catch myself calculating how many entries I have left and how much time it's still going to take, I demoralize myself, thus making it more difficult to keep going and more likely that I'll stumble. While you're standing at the foot of the mountain and looking at its peak, it looks like it's impossible to scale it. But then, if you decide to climb it, step by step and minute by minute, you slowly advance and soon you're looking down, surprised at how high you are. If you're facing a big project, embrace the same attitude. Don't look a year ahead, instead, focus on what you need to do today to get a little bit closer to your destination. Do it today, and then do it tomorrow, and then the day after tomorrow. Then continue week by week and month by month, until you make the impossible possible. Day 236, on being a normal chap. In response to the question, "So, Mr. Lamborghini, in short, what type of man are you?" A normal chap, a man who likes creating things. A good worker in the morning, and a man who likes enjoying himself in the afternoon. Ferruccio Lamborghini. It's easy to put successful people on a pedestal and think that they're so exceptional that you'll never become even half as great as they are. In reality, world-class performers aren't that different from you or me. Mr. Lamborghini, the creator of one of the most desired sports car brands in the world, described himself in simple terms that can apply equally to any other successful person. They like to create things, which comes down to never-ending self-improvement. They're good workers, and just like everybody else, they like enjoying themselves after work. Thinking that successful people live on a different planet can hinder your personal growth. You might assume that their achievements are only within the reach of similar superhumans, but not you. In reality, while there are certain exceptions of people who were born with extraordinary talent, prior to their success, most people didn't differ much from others. If you have a tendency to become starstruck, remember that beyond their successes, they're the same human beings as you or me. They might be exceptional at one thing, but horrible at something else. The only reason why many of them have achieved success might be because of their persistence, and not because of any special abilities or resources that were available to them. Stick to your own resolutions, and with enough dedication, nothing will prevent you from attaining their level of accomplishment. Day 237, on shifting responsibility to others. Many seek to avoid the pain of their problems by saying, "This problem was caused me by other people, or by circumstances beyond my control, and therefore it is up to other people or society to solve this problem for me." M. Scott Peck. I have a friend who's often late. When confronted about his tardiness, he says, "When I was a child, my parents were always late to pick me up at school, so I learned it from them." This way, he conveniently shifts the responsibility for the problem to his parents. It's no longer his lack of self-discipline to leave 10 minutes early, it's his parents who were late, decades ago, so now he's late for his appointments, too. You can often notice similar sentiments among people looking for a job. It's not their job to find employment, it's the government that should do something about it, as if the government could create jobs out of thin air. While those people wait for somebody else to fix their problems, other job seekers take additional training, volunteer, or start small businesses, knowing that even if the economic situation in the country is beyond their control, it's within their control to do something that can increase their chances of getting a job. Do you have any problems in your life that you think were caused by other people and therefore you don't accept that it's your responsibility to fix them? What do you think? What are your chances of ever solving them if you deny that it's within your control to do something about them? Day 238, on dividing your life into 10-minute units. You can do so much in 10 minutes time. 10 minutes, once gone, are gone for good. Divide your life into 10-minute units and sacrifice as few of them as possible in meaningless activity. Ingvar Kamprad. No, there's no need to divide your life into 10-minute units and behave like a robot for the rest of your life. However, Kamprad's suggestion can be a valuable exercise in discovering how productive you can be if you develop better control of your schedule. Conduct an experiment. For one day, track every single activity you engage in and how much time you spend on it. Jot down everything, including how much time it takes you to get out of bed, commute, cook, eat, how much time you spend on social media, how much time you spend on each specific task at work, etc. For your electronic life, you can use Rescue Time, which is time management software that shows you how you spend your time on your devices. Just one day of tracking your activity can give you an incredibly valuable insight into how many 10-minute periods are gone, wasted on meaningless activities. As an additional exercise, choose a task, any important task you need to perform, and set a timer for 10 minutes. For the next 10 minutes, act as if a huge meteor were to hit Earth and destroy everything on it if you fail to maintain 100% concentration. Even if you don't finish the task, you'll probably multiply your productivity by a factor of 5 or 10, and that will serve as a powerful reminder that you can push your limits if you're only more diligent about your use of time.